Sorry.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Allied Rivals podcast. Bless you, AJ. And
Thank
we
you.
are here to talk about the Milwaukee Bucks versus the Boston Celtics. The
Yup.
first game of this series actually happened a couple hours ago, but we're still going to make our full predictions video for the entire series.
Yup.
This is the Eastern Conference semifinals.
There you go.
Predictions.
He's
There
getting
we
it.
go. Off to a better start than last round. So if you've watched any of these, you know we make a video for each series in the NBA playoffs. So comment, subscribe, do it all. You've been here before. But AJ, my Bucks already won game 1 today.
Yep.
101 to 89.
Mm-hmm.
We handle our defense is just looking so good throughout the entire playoffs already. We knocked out AJ's Bulls, which I'm sure he's a little upset about, but I think you kind of saw it coming.
Dude, didn't I predict a sweep or did I predict 5?
I think
I can't remember. I said 5. Okay, well then there we go. I'm fine.
Well,
I'm proud. I'm proud of our boys, man.
Yeah.
I expected that.
Okay. Well, let's give our predictions for this series.
Mm-hmm.
Milwaukee's up already 1-0, but AJ, why don't you take it away and talk about the Boston Celtics?
All right, so the Celtics are coming off sweeping the Brooklyn Nets. For those of you who didn't notice, the best defense in basketball did it again by shutting down the one player who can kind of just make whatever shot he wants. They had an incredible job of switching, led by Defensive Player of the Year Marcus Smart, him, Tatum, everybody was ripping Durant the entire time. They swept Brooklyn. Every game was close. Don't get me wrong. Every game was less than 6 points, I believe. But they took it home the entire series. So now the question is, do they have the defense to compete with Giannis and the rest of Milwaukee? Because shutting down KD like they did is a lot different from shutting down Giannis. They're two completely different types of players. KD is going to outshoot you no matter what you do, and Giannis is going to back you down in the post no matter what you do. Every time he runs and Euro steps into the paint, you're basically going to get scored on or you're going to foul him. So the big question is, now they have Robert Williams back, Time Lord as well. As long as they have him back, what are the chances that the defense is going to be able to shut him down? I think the biggest thing for the Celtics isn't going to be shutting down Giannis. You're not going to be able – I don't know if they're going to be able to. I think it's going to be how they shut down Drew Holiday. If Chris Middleton ever gets to 100%, when he's back, Grayson Allen lit up the series against Chicago. I think it's going to come down a lot to how well they're going to cover not the star of Milwaukee, but the role players instead. Jaylen Brown didn't have a great game today. Tatum still dropped 20. I think today it might be a little bit of a fluke, but the Celtics defense is definitely going to have to step up. And to be fair, holding Milwaukee to 101 is not an easy feat. That's still great play defensively, but I think they're going to have to keep it up because this is going to be a grit and grind series, and you can't be losing games at home at TD Garden either.
Yeah, I'll break down Milwaukee real quick. And you said, do the Celtics have the defense to compete with Milwaukee? And I don't think they really necessarily do. I mean, it's a great defense, but I think ours is better. And I know
You're the number 1 ranked defense in the league, led by the Defensive Player of the Year, who shut down Kevin Durant.
Ours is better.
There is no metric in the entirety of basketball that supports that.
Stop playing with me. All right, the Celtics
bias, ladies and gentlemen.
The Celtics had their center all year. We didn't. And Brook Lopez is a paint monster. Giannis is the best help defender in the league. Drew Holiday has made Smart. No, incorrect. Drew Holiday has made
There's a reason Smart won DPO defense. Anyway,
Drew Holiday has made first all team defense before, and he's great on the perimeter, and he doesn't back down to big men. And then Bobby Portis seems like he's starting to play some more defense. And then you said our role players are going to be also key, but we play guys like Wesley Matthews, who doesn't have the offense but has the defense. We start him over guys like Grayson Allen, who have the offense but not as much of the defense, because that's super important. And so we don't start all 5 guys that are the best offense on the team. We're playing some guys like Javon Carter and Wesley Matthews because they can play some really good defense. And so we are able to shut down not necessarily shut down, but we are able to contain Tatum and Brown. I think today Brown went 4 for 13 or something like that.
It was not good. It wasn't good today.
It was great. Our defense is incredible.
And it's great.
Jason Tatum, he had his for him it's a below average game, honestly, but he had his game.
Just slightly, yeah.
And it was just that's called Bucks defense. we've given up 100 points in this playoffs one time so far.
To the Bulls. Like,
Yeah, we
okay,
held you guys in the 80s like 4 times. Stop
no
playing with me.
distance. No, look, I'm the Bulls fan here. Our offense is not the gold standard. We were
No, it's not.
29th in offense heading into the playoffs, and that's the defense. That's the team you're going to hold up as the gold standard, is facing one of the worst offenses in the league down the stretch.
So, AJ, you really think the Celtics defense is better than the Bucks defense?
According to basically every single statistic in the NBA that we have that tracks defense in DVOA, in defensive rating, in points per game, in LeBron, yes, the Celtics do have, in terms of the best unit. Oh yeah, for crying out loud, Al Horford's singing like 35, and he was switching so well on KD, and they didn't have Robert Williams, who would have made first team All NBA, All Defense, if it wasn't for the fact that he got injured at the end of the year either. And now he's finally back. He's going to get healthier as the series goes on too. This is his first game back in a couple weeks.
Interesting. All right, well, AJ, we've made some bold statements already. Why don't you give your final predictions for this series?
Sure. I said a lot of stuff about the Celtics earlier in the season. They were my initial pick to win it all until Robert Williams got injured. That kind of threw me off, and so I said Suns at the beginning of playoffs. Who knows what that's going to look like after the Pelican series? Who knows what's going to happen there? It's going to be really tough. You're not going to be able to shut down Giannis, I don't think. Ime Udoka is a really, really great coach. And like I said the same thing in the series against the Nets, that the Celtics have been shut down basically every single play for the last few years. I think this is the year they get it done. I think it's going to be in 7. I think they'll have to finish it at home at TD Garden. They can't drop both games in Milwaukee for sure to go down 3-1. I think they're going to bounce back. They had a rough game this game. Jaylen Brown did not play well. That's not going to happen every single game. It's going to be a tight series. I could see it going either way, but especially compared to the Nets, which is a different built team compared to Milwaukee, I think this one's easily going to go to 7. I'm going to give it to the Celtics, but I think it's going to be really, really close.
Okay, so for me, it's Bucks in 6. I can't pick against my Bucks, not just because I'm a Bucks fan, but even if I wasn't, they're still the better team. Bucks in 6, but if they can, I don't think they're going to lose one at home. So if they can take either game 2 or game 5, then it's in 5. Bucks in 6, Bucks in 5. One of those. Bucks are not losing this series. Our defense is too good. The Celtics might not score 100 this entire series.
We'll see. I don't know about
that. They might a couple times. They might not. I'm just saying our defense is ridiculous. Don't be saying. Don't be
not best in basketball.
It is the best in. Dude, the gameplay will speak for itself. We will find out who has the best defense in basketball after this series.
Sure.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going Bucks in 6. He's going Celtics in 7.
Yep.
And we'll see you next time on the one and only Allied Rivals Kept podcast. Be sure to check out the rest of the playlist.
Yep. Adios.